I don't know why that's not happening. I'm sorry. But apparently the UK lost to the US in the World Cup. And so I was singing the song of my people, which is hey, 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 goodbye. So there we go. Hello, everybody.
Hey, folks.
How are you? Good evening. I still don't. The microphone's in the way, and all sorts of things are just being difficult today. Don't mind us. We're figuring it all out. Hello, everybody. How are you? Is everybody seeing us? I sure hope so. They're all quiet. Oh, there we go. There's a hi. Okay, good. I was like, is there a massive delay? Is everybody here? What's happening? Okay, people can see us. Good.
Great.
Fine.
Great.
I was worried.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
How you living?
We're doing okay. I know it's late, Ozzy. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
In the immortal words of Delbert Wilkins' uncle, how's your life?
Who the heck is that?
Wendy just high-fived me across the internet. I'm pretty confident.
Okay. That's weird.
I mean, I could tell you, but it would need the symbol.
No, I don't want to. No.
I might tell you.
Please don't. I love you. Maybe later.
Okay.
I'm glad people have crunchy snacks. That sounds good. I wrote 64,000 words in NaNoWriMo. KDB, that's amazing. Well done.
Oh, Loop. Perfect.
Background noise while I work on Among the Stacks episodes. Of course! Please! By all means!
Because
Let
now...
Yes, because now that... Oh, we have to put that in Where Are You this week as well.
Yes, indeed.
We are going to have a British male voice singularity because David Alt and Kareem and Alistair and Ben have all been announced as showing up in Among the Stacks, which is a forthcoming audio drama from Dr. Loop. Sorry, I can't remember the name of the studio off the top of my head.
Along with a whole bunch of other fantastic
Oh my
folks.
god, there's
it's
so many cool people
good
in this
creative
thing.
team, both on writing stuff and front of house.
Just all the good voices. It is going to be a ridiculously
You will spend
thing.
episodes of the show going, oh, it's them, and them. Oh, and it's them too. Oh my god.
It's like an Avengers Assemble thing. It's so nice. Nigel is the showrunner, not me. Well, you're doing the production. That's equal contribution minimally. Absolutely. Just help. There is no just when it comes to audio drama. There's no such thing as I'm just doing this or I'm just doing that. It is a full, all hands are needed, big job. Every contribution is vital and necessary. And please don't have a go at yourself. You are contributing in a meaningful way, and that's very important.
This is why I will be showing up to a thing which I cannot talk to you about other than discussing what my favorite episode of The West Wing is.
Oh my god, we are in an episode of The West Wing series. Put it this way, Alistair's 2023 currently has, I think, 6 potential releases?
It's at least 4.
It's at
probably
least
5.
4, maybe 5 or 6. I don't know. He's gonna be all freaking over the place next year. Yes, for everyone who was in High Wycombe, was that last weekend?
Oh, Jesus Christ, yeah.
Bloody hell.
Oh my God.
And it has Alistair in it, is very much the thing.
And speaking of that, the Rogue Maker live show that Emma did such a fucking amazing job of.
That they performed last
we
weekend.
Performed with Emma, Bonnie, and myself, has just hit the Rogue Maker podcast feed. So, if you want to hear the most emotionally devastating IT public service announcement in human history, we got you.
Yes, exactly. And Ducky is on it with the link. It hit the feed today. It is delightful and made those of us sitting in the back row all sniffly when it came out. So perhaps have some tissues to hand. It's not a terribly bummer sort of sniffly, but it is kind of a bummer sort of sniffly. So, what is the name of that podcast again?
Rogue Maker.
Gremlin. Rogue Maker is the link that Ducky has shared in the chat. That's the live show that's now been released on their fiction feed.
It is a 10-episode, 1 season so far science fiction show, which tells a complete story, and it's really, really good.
The other podcast that we were just talking about, Goblin, is Among the Stacks. Hey, Wendy and or Ducky, could you throw a link to that in there as well? Which is coming next year, and I think it's 30 episodes.
I do not know.
I don't have the full deets yet on the complete breakdown.
Thank you, Ducky.
But they've been doing casting announcements, and it is a who's who Avengers Assemble Rogues gallery of audio drama darlings like his truly over here. It's going to be lovely.
And it's also something I've not done before, again, which is really, really nice.
Yeah, this one's going to be fun.
When you hear it, you'll hear the kind of stylistic connections to a lot of the previous stuff I've done. But it is, I'm really, really happy I got this role.
Doc Loop says 30 episodes planned for season 1. Yes, excellent.
Amazing.
It's going to be very good. Looking forward to it. Speaking of awesome audio dramas that are currently running, I think we're on episode 3 of Afflicted. You guys remember we had Tanya Ransom on a couple weeks ago.
And it's going great as well.
Yeah, that show releases every other week, I believe, and we're on episode 3. And suspenseful. That's the way I would put it. It's very suspenseful. Yes, it is really, really good.
I absolutely.
Jen continues to just knock it out of the park with the sound design. It's fantastic.
I absolutely adore how much trust that show places in its audience, because it drops you into the middle, just into the fucking middle.
You just gotta swim,
and it trusts you to get to the sides, and I love that to tiny pieces.
Yes, Tonya is such good people. I'm glad that you have connected. That makes me very happy. Zelia, hello.
Zelia.
I hear that there have been amazing, awesome new plot events in
Destiny 2.
In Destiny that you're very, very excited about, which is amazing. Thank you very much, Wendy. There's a link to the Rogue Maker Live show. Zolia, yes! Okay, excellent.
Zolia, does this include the two best terrible old men in Space Barbie kissing?
I think so, because
yes!
all of the upset people I saw seem to be gamers of a certain persuasion complaining about politics, which usually means someone who doesn't get represented in video games got represented. And I read something, and I saw something on TikTok about how apparently there's a character in Call of Duty that all the women are like, hello.
Oh, yeah.
And all the guys are like, you can't put romance in my war movie! And all the girls are like, watch me!
Oh, yeah. Apparently there is a Mexican female special forces operator who comes in, owns the place. I think fucks them over at one point, and Captain Grumpy is
no, he's a hot bad boy?
She's a hot bad boy.
Oh, even better. Okay.
And I think Captain Grumpy's like, we're coming back for you. She's like, you promise?
Oh, dear.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my.
Yeah. I've seen a couple of the F&Bs, and Price has that kind of, I have very confused feelings right now.
Excellent.
Look on his face.
Excellent. Ducky mentioned something about emotional support plushies. And we wanted to introduce you folks to a few new
Observe the Crookie
acquisitions that may have come home with us for Christmas. So we got a new little crookie. He's very tiny and very cute. And there is a plushy snowflake, which makes me very happy, and who I will be hiding behind when we play Scarlet Hollow. And then there's this cute little tree with a cute little star, and I love them. And this is going to hang in the middle of a Christmas wreath when I get one. Because look at the smiley faces on the little holly berries. I was very well behaved. There's 3 times as many of these seasonal wintry plushy amusable thingies. and I did not buy them all. And then Alistair picked out...
This is my favorite.
He's a little...
He is my log.
Little log. It's log. It's log. He's got a cute little face. I mean, he's all twisted up. I mean, I guess it's a Christmas cake
it's a Yule log.
Whatever you want to count it. But he's a little plushy Yule log.
With a smiley little face.
And we have a speaker bar underneath our TV in the living room, and they're all sit on this little speaker bar. Because tomorrow is the 1st of December, so Christmas decorations are allowed today, which is why I'm wearing my Pumpkin Spice
and Reproductive Rights
sweatshirt. Quick,
which
today,
is technically our Pumpkin Spice and Reproductive Rights sweatshirt. It's yours. Let's move on.
I guess technically. But no, today's the last day of the celebration of Pumpkin Spice, so I'm wearing that, which means, of course,
the lad.
Our fine lad is all insulated in his toasty little Pumpkin Spice attire.
Oh, chocolate log, oh, chocolate log, why are you so yummy?
Don't eat them. I mean, I should have put this on backwards. I could like tuck them inside.
Do you wish me to get Jeff?
Oh, are you gonna go get Jeff? Okay.
I'll go get Jeff.
So Sunday was. We're just vamping here for a while.
Sunday was crap.
Sunday was crap. Saturday was amazing. We got lots of cool stuff, like dug out the box what contained the Christmas decorations, and more importantly, like the winter duvet for the bed, because somebody is a blanket hog, and I get very cold in the winter, being born from a Mediterranean climate. So yours truly needed the big, thick, extra industrial duvet. But then on Sunday, the refrigerator died. Like, just kaputski died. And I had spent all of Saturday defrosting the freezer because it needed it. And then Sunday, it just died. So we had to go to IKEA and get a big insulated bag and, like, freezer packs to put everything. And while we were at IKEA, somebody followed us home. Meet Jeff.
This is Jeff.
Jeff followed us home from IKEA. Jeff lives on the bed now. Yes. and we all fight over who gets to cuddle Jeff. Jeff is the guardian of the bed during the daytime.
With a J.
With a J. You decided with a J.
Those of you who are continuity-minded may remember there is a West Coast Avengers series which opens with them dealing with the stampede of land sharks. And the only land shark who is left behind is the land shark puppy called Jeff. Who's like a little dog, but also a shark. So this is Jeff.
This is Jeff. The plushie contingent of our household has increased dramatically lately, is all I'm saying. Yes, precisely. Ducky, I will send you the nice photo that I took of all the plushies if you want it for the stream notes later on. So, yeah, that's what's been going on with us. We don't have a refrigerator right now, which is, a pain in the butt. But that's okay. I was in IKEA today and forgot to look into Blahas. Oh, even better, they now have
a whale,
a plushy blue whale, and orcas and dolphins. So of course, Alistair got in the car and started singing "Whales and Dolphins, Whales and Dolphins."
Of course, when we get the whale, he'll have to be called Fudgy.
Fudgy the whale? What's that
Isn't
from?
that like a cake in the Americas? A Fudgy the whale ice cream cake?
I've never heard of that before.
Okay.
Okay, you just made something up. That was
no,
fun.
I did not. I made a lot of things up, but I didn't make up that.
Yes, there's a blue whale and an orca whale and a dolphin.
And the blue whale has a zip-upable mouth.
Yeah, the blue whale, you can zip and unzip their mouth and put other things inside of it. Apparently,
I would have traumatized so many G.I. Joes that way.
Yeah, because we were both raised Catholic, so that whole Jonah and the whale thing would have gotten.
Daniel Krauss has actually done that as a book. It's coming out quite soon. It's called Whalefall.
Okay, wait a minute. Wendy's sending me a link
Fudgy
to
the Whale.
Fudgy the Whale.
Ha! Again, I say, ha!
Type of ice cream cake sold by Carvel in its franchise. Never heard of it.
And it's in the Cookie Puss verse. Great.
Okay. Jonah Magnus and the Whale. Who knows?
But yeah,
Fudgy the Whale.
Daniel Krauss,
Okay.
Daniel Krauss's next book is dude is swallowed by whale and must survive inside it whilst not killing it and work out how to escape in a manner which does not, and let's be fair to him here, involve whale poo.
Wendy says we're very quiet right now. So
Oh, that won't last long.
I guess that means we just need to scoot up closer to the microphone. I mean, don't do that. That doesn't look comfortable. You're very cute, but you should probably scoot your chair.
Okay.
There we go. That or Wendy has her notifications turned up very, very loudly. All right. I can't get... Would you behave? The microphone is not behaving today, everybody. Sorry. Carvel's an East Coast thing, I think. Yeah, I've never heard of it. So, I could tell you all about Chuck E. Cheese pizza, but nobody wants to hear about Chuck E. Cheese
I've seen
pizza.
that Nicolas Cage
You've
movie.
seen
Those
that
robots
Nicolas
are demons.
Cage
Yes.
movie, and yes, those animatronics are in fact demons. That is fair and accurate. Okay, so that's what our week has been. Plushies and a dead refrigerator.
Yes.
And last weekend was at Audio Drama Fest, and it was amazing, and we had a great time.
Yes. We do 3 things on the show.
Oh, there we go.
There it is. There it is.
Oops, I pushed the wrong button. Sorry about that. Thematic continuity. I'm gonna see if I can make us louder.
We do 3 things on this show.
I mean, you could do that. I don't think so. All right. Well, okay. What else do we need to talk about? We have an opening monologue. Should we do that?
Do we have other stuff we want to talk about, like creative things and stuff?
Well, we usually talk about where to find us next week at the end. We've talked about Audio Drama Hub Podfest, which was amazing and a lot of fun. We talked about the Rogue Maker live show.
Yes.
We talked about you being casted among the stacks.
Yes.
We talked about how Celestial Navigation is your favorite episode of The West Wing.
Yes,
and
it
how
is.
you're going to be very busy next year in audio dramas. Yes, you are. Don't fiddle with the sound just for me. I've turned my headphones all the way up and my notifications off. Wendy, don't deafen yourself, please, my dear. That would be bad. I think that's everything right now. Good? Opening monologue?
We do 3 things on the show.
Oh,
First
my
one,
gosh.
the opening monologue, is your opportunity to get situated, get your pets fed, get the laser pointer on the Roomba to distract your partner.
Grab a plushie snowflake.
Grab a plushie snowflake.
I haven't named any of these yet.
Hydrate, medicate as needed, all of that good stuff. Then we'll dive straight into the meat of the show, the show flesh, if you will.
No, we are not calling it show flesh.
Very well. The original plan was that this was going to be our kickoff for Scarlet Hollow 4, but Black Tabby have delayed it.
Pezzy, we're only 19 minutes in. I feel like we've missed. I'm sure we've missed at least a dozen things, Pezzy. But as you were saying,
Black Tabby have put a very short delay on the release of Scarlet Hollow 4. And not only is this a very good thing, because, mental health of developers...
Because grind culture sucks and we don't support it.
Grind culture literally kills people. The more developers that don't do it, the
better.
The less likely it is to kill more people.
The more better.
And also, you don't pull a loaf out of the oven after 15 minutes and go, you know what, fuck it, it's probably fine.
There we go. I was worried where you're going.
Always trust me with a loaf analogy.
Really?
Yes.
So, okay.
I may require receipts for that particular skeptical noise.
You may proceed.
I may proceed.
So, in conclusion, my arm is healed. Yes. Okay. So there's been a delay on Chapter 4.
Yes, which is fine. They've also released the patch notes for Chapter 4, and we're so fucked.
Okay, they updated the content warnings stream.
Oh,
I'm
God.
gonna read this to you. Oh, I should have prepped to show it with you. Hang on a second. I can throw the tweet link in the chat. So they've updated the content warning screen. It says this is a horror game and it is not intended for all audiences. Please visit this website if you need a full list of the content warnings. You won't be able to save everyone. You might not even be able to save yourself. Welcome home.
Oh no.
I'm scared, y'all.
I'm
scared.
In the immortal words of Twitter, is that bad?
Oh no.
Yeah.
Right? I'm very concerned about our beloved decrepit octogenarian pug. We're all like, but what does this mean? What do you mean I can't save everyone? What do you mean there isn't a super mega happy ending? The other thing that they've told us about Chapter 4 is that it is 1.5 to 2 times as big as Chapter 3.
Which, if you remember, was 1.5 to 2 times as big as Chapters 1 and 2.
So we went back and looked. Chapters 2 and 3 were the same size. Chapter 1 was the shortest, and it took us 3 sessions to play through it. Chapters 2 and 3 each took us 5 sessions to play through, which means we're looking at an anticipated playthrough length of Chapter 4 of between 8 and 10 stream sessions, which is delightful and terrifying.
Yes. Also, I want to plant a flag on a suspicion I have.
Oh, are we going to do predictions? White envelopes here?
Release schedule predictions.
Ooh.
I think 4 is going to end on a murderous cliffhanger.
No!
And I think inside 2 weeks they'll go, oh, and here's the rest of Slay the Princess.
Yay! Conflicted yay! No noise! Oh gosh. Now, grinding is not good for
No,
anybody. It's not good for developers. It's not good for players. It's not good for fans. The only people it's good for are the people who make all the money, i.e. the distributors. And if you're an indie game, I wholeheartedly applaud you cutting them out and not listening to them.
Case in point, Cyberpunk 2077, absolute garbage fire when released. Now, it's had the 2 years of development time that it needed before being released. It's apparently really good.
Yeah, good point, Ozzy. It's not good for the game either.
No, of course not.
Some things just need time to breathe.
Another case in point, I'm playing Watch Dogs Legion at the moment, and I'm really enjoying it.
But I'll go next, and we'll talk about grinding.
Yeah, but this is a game that's like 2-3 years old. And yesterday, I did a relatively vital plot mission where I had to sneak into essentially an MI5 headquarters.
A thing with some stuff.
Every building, every time I don't jump off a building, every time I just kind of run off the edge, which it's a Watch Dogs game, so you do a surprising amount of that. You just keep walking in place and the ground gently lowers itself down to you.
Nice.
Yesterday, breaking into this MI5 headquarters, I walked past what I thought was a statue, and I looked closer, and it was 2 people in a car, or rather in the position you would be in if you were in a car, 20 feet above the ground.
Oh dear.
Not moving.
Bug.
Just bad code. Happens a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. We don't need anything like that. I'm a big fan of take the time you need in order to release the game you want to release. Oh, is it Cameron Hurley who said, you know what, it's crap, it's late once, but it's crap forever? That's with books more so, because, you don't get to really go back and edit a book. Games have a little more of an expectation of iteration with them. But yes, by all means, take your time. There's a
Yahtzee video.
Oh, God, I haven't listened to a Yahtzee video in forever. Oh, wow, flashback. About Ride to Hell, a game my ex worked on, and he absolutely rinses it for being as terrible as it was. A thing I solely blame on the crunch and grind culture of the place he worked, and the total lack of women. Yeah. Oh boy, that's a whole nother stream now, isn't it?
Okay, we're gonna throw a really brief sidebar in here as well, because
I should have a sidebar.
You should have a sidebar,
like a
side. Because Luke, that puts me in mind of
putting it on my Christmas list.
I think you should. That puts me in mind of something. We finished watching a show called Wreck tonight, which is really good.
WRECK, wreck, like as in a shipwreck, which is intentional.
What?
I thought your headphones were talking to me for a second. No. Okay, sorry about that. Go ahead.
Which is great. It's a mystery on a cruise liner, and it is a cast of every pull near enough from the LGBTQIA plus spectrum, every body shape, a whole bunch of ages, a whole bunch of ethnicities. It's fucking great.
Yeah, it's very good.
There's a movie that Disney released last week, which has been buried on purpose, called Strange World. Massively diverse cast, physically, sexual identity, all of that good stuff. It matters. It matters, because if otherwise you just get games where everyone looks like the asshole on the front of Bioshock Infinite. And then those assholes who look like the guy on the front of Bioshock Infinite still complain that they're not seeing themselves in representation, and it's exhausting. It's exhausting. Let's talk about Planet Zoo. Let's talk Nate's
about
back, baby.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Exactly. Hold on. I need to find the button. It's buried under all the plushies. Give me a second here.
So, frequent house band, the magnificent Mr. Nate
That's
Crowley.
the wrong button. That was the shenanigans. Sorry, everybody. You're getting the reading in advance. We haven't done a monologue in so long, I can't even find the button anymore. Okay.
Two-fisted games journalist, occasional Roman ghost. Just the best fucking human. And so this is how Planet Zoo narrowed 2 million animals down to 76, and why tapirs are the best.
When Noah was faced with the task of stalking the Ark, it was a fairly simple business. 2 of everything, mate, and don't bother with the unicorns. In fact, considering Noah was most likely a hapless Bronze Age farmer trying to survive a regional flood, it was probably even simpler. The situation was more likely boiled down to as many goats as you can force on board, plus a couple of cows, and maybe a donkey if it'll fit. Easy. By contrast, Frontier Development's task in choosing what animals to include in Planet Zoo seems daunting, even if it did involve less in the way of physically maneuvering goats onto a raft.
There are, after all, very many types of animals in the world. Species totals between 1 and 2 million get chucked around all the time, but these come with a big caveat.
I love how Nate knows that.
However you choose to slice things, a big chunk of these totals will always comprise beetles that only an expert could distinguish from other, very similar beetles.
I mean, fair.
So with that in mind, let's slash the total right down to just the number of species currently kept in zoos and aquariums, and only in the US. Alas, we still end up with 6,000 plus, according to the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, and that is a lot of animals. To find out how Frontier got from here to the list of 76 animals in Planet Zoo at launch, there are 80 now. I had a bit of a dog-pilled chatterpuss with PC's senior artist Lisa Bowens and games director Pierce Jackson.
Let's get this out there first because it's important. Bowen's favorite animal is the tapir, which I respect. I respect the opinion, that is, but I also respect the tapir itself. Only the Malaysian version, though, as it looks like a nice pig crossed with the Battenberg cake. I do not respect the inferior Brazilian tapir, which looks like a fool. Bowen says she really grew a liking to the tropical snufflers while the game was in development, being especially delighted by their stripy babies and their tendency to use their snouts as snorkels while swimming. Bowens was right. Tapirs are great. So they were a dead cert for inclusion. That left 75 slots.
There's a photo here of a Malayan tapir with a Malayan tapir. Just look at that beautiful nappy-wearing bastard. Seems Frontier decided early on not to include any fish in the game.
Oh, you could hear the stink eye
of
that word.
While some semi-watery folks like saltwater crocodiles did make it in, for the most part, aquatic animals in general are out of the picture. I asked Jackson about this decision because I've got a private obsession with seeing fish and other watery things in games, but he dodged the issue pretty reasonably, to be fair. With right now, we don't have anything to share about the future of Planet Zoo beyond our ongoing work to keep improving and optimizing the game.
Just after our conversation, the game's first DLC pack launched, featuring 4 cold weather animals. But penguins, surely a crowd pleaser, were not among them. While I don't know for sure, the omission of such swimmy birds has only further stoked my personal belief that an aquatic update is on its way at some point. Speaking of birds, while they're not as absent as fish, there are only 3 in the game: the ostrich, an Indian peafowl, and the flamingo. According to Jackson, this was partially down to an element of behavior and navigation systems. Putting flighted birds into the game, he explains, presented a different challenge from ground lords such as ostriches.
That's birds and fish off the table then. But what about...
I'm sorry, I just saw the caption on the next photo.
But what about the elephant in the room? And when I say elephant, I mean invertebrates, because there are a vast number of the things. Frontier's solution to beetles and their friends came fairly early in the design process, when the call was made to split the game's animals between habitat species, larger animals with fully designable outdoor enclosures, and exhibit species, smaller creatures with limited simulated behavior, housed exclusively in one-size-fits-all terrarium cubes.
Gotta catch them all. We had a desire to have these animals in the zoo to create diversity, says Jackson, but we knew we'd need to handle their inclusion separately from habitat animals, given both scale and behavioral differences. This makes sense, especially in terms of invertebrates. After all, who keeps a tarantula in a meadow? But it also restricted the potential for including smaller mammals, even smash-hit creatures such as meerkats. It now cuts to a picture of a meerkat looking mournfully into the middle distance, saying, "Why have you forsaken me?"
The ultra-customizable habitat system was designed, it seems, around the model behavior of large animals. Indeed, according to Bowens, one of the most time-consuming animation issues was making foot planting look right in large animals, no matter the gradient they were walking on. Given that, it's easy to figure out that trying to populate habitats with meerkat-sized creatures would require a lot of reworking. Behaviors like burrowing, for example, would be a pretty obvious headache.
Feel better soon, Becca. Have a
Rest
good
up, XO.
Also, from a practical point of view, you wouldn't be able to see creatures like these when viewing your zoo from any sort of distance. We were making a management simulation that would often be played from an elevated point of view, said Jackson. And in these situations, larger animals obviously have a greater visual impact and they become easier to manage.
So small animals, and among them, of course, all of the invertebrates, ended up in exhibits. Was there room for exhibits to be at least be a little bit more customizable, though? Jackson says that Frontier had initially wanted to make them fully constructible in Samway's habitats, but that the level of intricacy and knock-on consequences became prohibitive and led to the approach we took.
In the end, some 23 of the game's initial 76 animals were exhibit species, including among the number 11 invertebrates, 9 reptiles, and 3 amphibians. This is the most Nate written thing ever. That left 53 slots, or 52,
given tapirs,
to be filled. And with invertebrates, fish, flighted birds, and all small vertebrates bend, that left only large mammals, large reptiles, and flightless birds to choose from. In other words, what zoologists call charismatic megafauna. Those animals big and recognizable enough to draw a crowd. Which there is now a picture of a large fish with its mouth open, say, please may I be in game though.
But that still left a really big list to choose from. There are just loads of animals, you see. Spoiled for choice, Frontier ended up resorting to democracy.
Oh.
We started with a really long list of animals that we knew were housed in zoos, Jackson explains. This far exceeded anything we'd be able to fulfill, but it was a good starting point. We made a voting process within the team based on what animals we thought people would expect or want to see in a zoo.
This process, Jackson said, highlighted some of the species Frontier knew they would probably need to ship with. Then came the hard bit. Aiming for species diversity, both in terms of taxonomic variety and monitored levels of endangerment, like the CITES list, helped steer the next round of selection. Essentially, at this point, there were 2 groups of animals identified. Those which people expected to see in the game, and those which had particular significance in conservation. These were then merged into a sort of Venn diagram where the animals in the center intersection, or at least the broadest possible taxonomic variety of those animals, ended up being Planet Zoo's final species list.
While I've possibly focused a bit too much here on what wasn't in the game, give me manatees! I could really see the rationale for winnowing down the eventual habitat-housed animal list to only 44 mammals, 6 reptiles, and 3 birds. Because after just taking a few minutes talking to Bowens about the amount of effort that went into finessing every single beast on that list of 53, the number suddenly seems gigantic.
And just a second, I took my eye off the prize, and we're currently running an ad break. So apologies for folks who are missing the rest of the opening monologue. We'll probably be done with it by the time we get back. We iterated on shaders with the primates so many times, she says. And the eyes were just so important to get right, which you'll know if you've ever been close to an orangutan, for example. We had milestone meeting after milestone meeting where the eyes and the fur just kept getting better, tiny bit by tiny bit. The sound team had their work cut out as well, she says, with some vocalizations undergoing endless revisions until they felt right. Oh dear, he's right ahead. This perfectionist approach to detail was even applied to the world of turds, with Bowens recalling animators sat there watching hours and hours of footage of animals just pooing. There's then a photo of an orangutan that says, I have made it into the game.
It's fair to say the effort has paid off, however, because the animals in Planet Zoo are the most realistic I've seen in the game. They're realistic enough, in fact, that people are learning things from them. We get bug reports about pangolins walking on 2 legs or lemurs doing weird T-poses, says Lisa. People don't realize those are very much features. But what about tapirs, I asked? Do they use their snouts as snorkels when they swim in the game? You'll have to watch one for a while and find out, answers Lisa. I guess it's me back to the tapirs then.
Good grief, Nate. Hours and
lemurs
hours
doing T-poses at one another.
Footage of pooing primates. Only Nate would write that in a game. Folks, the ad break's got a minute left to run, so quick, wiggle in your chair.
Lima's going full. I
plushies.
am ready for my motion capture now, thank you.
Really? Can you imagine all the little dots that you'd have to place on all the animals to do all the motion capture? That would be hilarious. I have to stare at the screen for 45 seconds. It's very awkward. Oh, don't yawn!
Shut up.
Don't yawn! That becomes dangerous. Now I have to play this spooky game. But we were on a good roll last time.
We were.
Yeah. So why don't I do the technical bits of this? Because I haven't fired up the game. I will do that while we're waiting for the last 25 minutes for the ad break to finish. How's that sound? Shush! Minutes, seconds. It does what I tell
Time
it
is
to.
meaningless.
Time is meaningless. Thank
On
you.
this endless page of
I know.
puberty
I gotta
furniture.
stop yawning. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Okay. Is Stoat even more square now? I don't know. I'm very concerned on their behalf. By all means.
We must deploy this Stoat.
Okay, I have to start the game now.
Remove the mask from that mysterious.
Hack the node, destroy the host, etc., etc.
Yelled that at least once in Watch Dogs Legion.
I'm
If
sure
I
you
can
have.
daisy chain a hack across multiple things, there is an achievement called Hack the Planet.
There is?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. You have to understand that, like, Wrench and
Marcus
from the second game is, like, my OTP of,
There is a point in Legion where you leave Wrench alone and all the characters just say stuff when you leave them alone. Wrench just at one point goes, I wonder what Marcus is doing right now.
That's very sweet.
Oh, little buddy. Little fella.
Alright, shall we set up the game now? Let's see. Why is it running? Did it run another ad? I don't know what's happening. What's going on with the ad break? I thought it was already running an ad break. Apologies in advance, everybody. Twitch seems to be a little twitchy. Haha. Tonight. Yes. I don't like the nasty. Oh. Okay, so we're going to spend a minute or two where apparently it's decided it has to run the ad break again or something. I don't know. Like, making sure I actually got all the sounds right. And Al's just going to yawn off screen so he doesn't make all the rest of us yawn again.
Yeah, I don't think anyone noticed. We were being very subtle.
Oh, I've got no sound. Okay, hold on. All of the things with the go here. That's fine. That's fine. Now if I go over here. Okay, I have creepy. I mean, not that you really need sound with this game. Hey, back, how you doing? But let's see. All right, where's the button that says game? Okay.
Is game.
Is game? Is game. Oh, but is no game audio. Hold on. There we go. That should now be game audio. Not that there's actually much of it to hear. And my darling, you've cut yourself in half again. You need to scoochie in towards the...
Okay, we can either have me near the mic, or we can have me fully on screen. We can't have me fully on screen near the mic.
Yes, we can. Watch. Look at that. Fully on screen. Near the mic. Miracle. You can say something.
Else will you maintain your reputation as a miracle
I can
worker?
move you around a little. Okay, I'm not going to make everybody dizzy. I should not. Okay. All right.
10 seconds.
Apparently the ad break is still running. It's got 10
game
seconds left to go.
time.
That or it's just the quantity of delay. I'm not sure what Twitch is up to this evening.
Twitch, because capitalism.
Because capitalism. Yes, exactly. All right, if you're just returning from the ad break, behold, we have returned to the land of the...
That's always glitched.
I know, but it won't let me play a new game, which makes me very frustrated. But I cannot see all of my fun friends' faces over here, so I have to do some adjustment. Pardon me, uno momento. What are you doing?
The theme from Central Services from the classic Terry
Yes.
Gilliam movie Brazil.
I know you are, but why are you doing that?
In a sense, it always plays in my head somewhere.
I mean, fair. It was one of the inspirations for your theme song. That's correct. You done now? Are you?
I'm good.
Should I go now?
No, I'm good. I'm good.
Hey, Bonsai. How's it going?
I'm good.
Sure? Okay, you're off. You got cut off the screen again.
What the hell, man?
Yeah, there you go. You just have
Some
to be
bullshit.
by me. People want to see your lovely visage. You need to scooch up anyway, or you're gonna cut yourself off from the headphones. So there we go. You can
There
just
we
look
are.
over my shoulder.
That's better.
That's not ominous.
Am I fully on?
I can see. There you are. There's
Okay.
your lovely visage. I should probably turn down. We bought a new heating fan for the office.
Tell them about the app.
Because it hasn't. Not because it has an app, but because I hate boilers and I hate the way they smell. So we just bought a heating fan, and it has an app, so I can turn it on and off. So like, if I forget to turn it off when I go to bed at night, I don't have to get out of bed.
It's like a tiny, friendly heat Dalek that really wants you to feel cozy.
Yes. And it's not cursed. At all. Alright, so recap on the game. this is the game we are playing. It is called Inscription. It is by Daniel Mullins Games. It is deck building and creepy and weird. And we have died many times, and that doesn't seem to have stuck. And we're still playing. This game has content warnings. It's quite creepy in places, and there's a bit of psychological component to that, and it's got some violence because it's a deck building game and you can sacrifice cards and body parts, and it's weird and gross. As always, there is a full list of content warnings, which may include spoilers, available behind that link. So we're going to try to remember where we are. I have cheated this time. I have loaded up a list of, this is what those incidents, each individual event, space thing, stuffs. With the thing and the stuff. Boy,
Margarita's loaded up a visual representation dictionary, if you will, explaining what each one of the icons we will encounter across the course of our journey represents.
At least that's what she hopes it is. Is that a cave?
It's a cave.
Hold on, I don't know. I don't recognize any of these. So let me go to my handy dandy list.
Do you want that on like a separate screen?
Do you
on
want
an
to
iPad, perhaps?
Would you go put that on your iPad?
Send me the link. I'll pull it up.
Okay, hang on a second. I'm going to... Alistair's going to roadie for me here. I just need to DM him. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do when Twitter finally dies. How am I going to DM you stuff live?
You just have to yell at me. I'm normally right here.
I know, but I don't want to yell URLs at you. That sounds difficult and time-consuming.
Could you repeat that, honey? I missed a dog.
Yeah, right? It's like trying to yell a password at somebody. Doesn't really work all that well. All right, so I've got get a card, and I've got what looks like a creepy cave with eyes. And this is a campfire, which is where the creepy people who want to eat your cards are but don't get to. And then this is a skull, which I don't remember what it does. Yelling URLs does. Great. Let me know when you are ready to remind me of such things. Just plain texting should work. I mean, it does, I guess.
Kinda.
And there's WhatsApp, but I don't know. I just find it more fun. At least when I like, the thing I like about being able to share DMs in Twitter is that it like does the thing where it does a display prequel image for the link. So it's, when I'm trying to be like, where was that recipe you sent me? I can scroll back through and be like, oh look, there's the picture from the recipe.
That there's the recipe.
Well,
there's the recipe.
A recipe.
A recipe.
There we go.
I'm spun up. I'm good to go.
Okay, so card with a question mark is draw some cards, yes?
Yes.
And the campfire is creepy people who want to eat your card, but otherwise you get to boost somebody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, if you still have the ringworm card, you can do things to them using that.
I don't... Okay, fine. What is this creepy thing that looks like a cave?
Creepy thing that looks like a cave spinning up. Now...
Carnivores. Ooh, nice.
Cave Dweller Trial. You'll be given a choice between 3 different trials. Pick one, and you'll draw 3 cards. If those cards pass the trial, you'll get to pick a card. Usually rare.
Well, I can't... What is this mushroomy looking thing?
Mushroomy looking thing is a mushroom.
Okay, woohoo!
If you have a set of duplicates, you can combine them to make one powerful card. So you could
what does my
create
deck
2
currently
wolves
look like? There's the ringworm. Oh, I forgot about my badass amalgam and my kitty and my corpse and this burly dude and my stoat buddy, who's an insect now. He's an ant spawn. Okay. And then the stink bug. I have a very different hand this time around, don't I? The trial sounds interesting, but we've not done the mushroom before, and this is kind of a free give, and our deck is pretty dang small.
Do we have 2 duplicates that we could fuse?
We don't have 2 duplicates that we can fuse, so there's no real point in going there, is there?
Not really.
But we do have this ringworm thing, and you said using a ringworm can be something that happens there.
Using the ringworm on the campfire apparently does
something.
interesting things.
Okay. So I guess we're gonna try out this Trial of Wonders then. Sure. This trial. I'm trying to remember what I've got in my hand currently. I've got my squirrel totem and a boulder and a knife. Okay. To the trial. Here we go. You arrive at the inky black mouth of a cave. It travels through time in the Star Trek universe. Wait. That's the wrong type of...
It's voiced by Detective Jim Brass.
Right?
It's actually kind of lovely.
Oh!
Oh boy.
A strange beast lurked within. Was it you? Can I stab you? It spoke. Pass one of my trials and I will be yours, in a raspy voice. Thank you very much for the wiggle reminder, Wendy. Alright. Creatures will be drawn from your deck. They will decide your success or failure. Yay. Okay. Click on the deck. But first you will choose a trial. Alright. Does it really matter?
It's apparently entirely random.
Alright, so no, it doesn't. The Trial of Wisdom. I feel that. The 3 drawn cards must have at least 3 sigils among them to pass.
Do you have 3 sigilled cards?
I don't know. It's gonna draw random cards. Most of my cards have sigils, so let's find out. I get to know what all the trials are first and then pick one. I get to look at my deck. Oh look. 1, 2, 3. Okay, 1.
You could
2,
absolutely
3,
pass the Trial of
4,
Wisdom.
5, 6. 6 of my 8 cards contain sigils. That's good odds. Okay. The Trial of Health. The 3 drawn cards must have at least 6 health combined to pass. Okay. 2, 3, 2. He would pass it all by himself if he's drawn. 2, 1, 3, 1. Okay. And then this is the Trial of Power. The drawn cards must have at least 4 attack power combined to pass. Okay. So 2, 1, 1, 3, 4, 1, 3. So I've got, if I drew the ringworm and the cat and the bullfrog, I would fail. That would be the worst possible draw. Is a 0, a 1, and a 1. Or if I do 3 1s, I would also fail. So there's true draws out of Marguerite can't do that kind of math in her head. All of these trials sound pretty good, but I think the odds are slightly in favor of the power symbol. So I'm going to pick that one. Trial of Wisdom begin. Oh. Oh. Failure. Alright. Shoot.
I don't think it does anything. I think we just move on.
I think we just move on. We failed.
Which is actually kind of nice.
We didn't recruit that card, as opposed to getting harmed, which was nice. Okay. Those cards would have passed both other trials. Yeah, well, okay. Shoot.
We learn.
We learn, we move on. Alright, campfire. Let's see if I can give you ringworm. That would make me happy. Starving faces of a group of survivors. We have not food. Perhaps one of your creatures will join us to enhance its power. Alright, fine. Nope. Do what you must. I'm gonna try this.
Oh, hey. Take my friend the ringworm.
Take my friend the ringworm.
This game's version of, hey, look, Frank, it's a
The
toaster.
Have that.
Here you go, chaps.
The survivors were right about the flames. They had enhanced the creature's power. Okay. Spotting a few of the survivors drooling, you made a hasty retreat with your ringworm. That doesn't seem to have had any long-term effect.
Okay.
Oh well. I just have a more powerful ringworm now.
And in this instance, this single instance, that's a good thing.
Okay, sure. All right. Let's say yes. Our only choice now is to, and now we fight, and then we have to go back. Whatever that is. I'm looking ahead at our. Well, I don't have to. We just have to. All right. Ooh, what is that?
Squirrel.
Squirrel. I have powerful squirrels. Grow into a more powerful form after one turn on the board. I'm trying to remind myself about what we have right now. Why did I start with a bone? Sorry, my dude. I'm trying to keep you alive. Alright, so what do we got? We got a stump. And a raven egg and 2 kingfishers. Now, I do not have myself, so I cannot play my ultimate brilliant. I have the ringworm takes a blood? That's weird. These are all 1 or 0 attack power characters. That's kind of annoying. Oof. This is gonna be a slow haul. Hold on. A raven egg is gonna turn into a flying creature. These are all flying, which means I need that bullfrog in play. So let's do this. Squirrel. And then I'm gonna kill the squirrel. And get
Thank
a
you,
frog.
for rats.
And I think that's all I can do.
Flipping heck.
Yeah.
So we need to get something a bit offensive out quite fast.
Well, yes, but I need the ability to play them. I'm gonna get this. I think I'm gonna get this. Take a squirrel and get the stoat out. I can't remember what the attack power is on kingfishers.
I believe they both fly and dive.
Right, so they dive now, which means I can't attack them directly.
I think so, yes.
Which means anything I put out here, it was why I put the frog here, is to take out the raven egg. So I'm gonna draw a squirrel. Squirrel. And play you here. And then put you there. And see, now I have a worker ant in my hand, but he takes blood as well. That's no fun. I can't. Well, I have a boulder, but that's it. And I can't play either of those because they take blood, so fine. Ooh, ouch.
He is swarming you.
I know, but I don't have much option. I'm gonna have to take another squirrel if I want to play another card is the problem. Try and defend myself. What's the attack power on this thing? It's 2. Which means he'll take out the ants. Ugh. Still think. Bless you.
Ugh.
Do that. Both have ants.
Thank you, Ozzy.
Problem is, I don't think the.
Jesus Christ.
He's gonna swarm me hard. But if I draw another card, I'm probably not going to be able to play it. Well, unless it has a bones cost. All right. Let's try that. Yeah, he's just beasted me on that. Oof. Nasty.
Yeah, well, I hope for a gold-plated shitter, so it's just not happening, is it, buddy?
Ugh. All right. What is the wolf symbol card? And the trap is if you have any fleeces. I don't have any fleeces. I have tons of teeth, but I don't have any fleeces.
Pick between 3 cards with different kinds of creatures. You'll have a random card from that creature family added to your hand.
Okay, and then there's a bag of stuff here. Or what is the sigil on a black background again? Is that the... I think that's the you have to sacrifice something.
That is not present here.
Well...
I have cards with a question mark, cards with wolf icon, cards with blood drops, boulder, bonfire cave, spot with an X, rock with a skull, mushroom, lady with knife, trap, and cards in a box.
I don't have any fleeces, or hide, so the trap's not going to do me any good. And I don't have duplicates of any cards, so the mushroom path isn't going to work. The get a card from a family and then get an item, I think is my best bet.
I think so too.
So... Now, we have... Let's take a look at my cards already. I have an insect, and the stoat has an ant power, so having another insect card might be useful. And this is a reptile. Really don't have any of those.
No, you don't.
And I already have like this uber
the gigabug
thing here. So I'm kind of inclined to go for the insect.
Insects seem to be a sensible choice.
An ant queen, which I think I had to give up at one point. So there we go. And then this will be a take stuff. Takes chat. Oh! What on
juice?
Earth is that? Oh no, you can't use that? Failure. To the user. Nothing will happen. This bottle of goo has no use. I am sus.
Would you like me to look up what that does?
I don't want that thing. Having a squirrel in a bottle is always handy, but that's unique. I've never seen that before.
You want me to look it up?
Yes.
Description. Face in a bottle. Description head in jar.
Really? That autocomplete?
Actually what it's called.
Oh my gosh. Nothing will happen. This bottle of goo has no use. I don't know. I'm not liking the vibes on that either, which is why I want to collect it. I'm kind of tempted to do that because then what it tends to happen is that they just give me a third choice for my second pick and I'll just take the squirrel.
Hey.
Is it a late stage game?
It doesn't do anything in the game.
It doesn't do anything in the game, which means it does something in the room. Okay, if it does something in the room, it's coming with me. But that's all I get. Okay, fine. Oh, great. Now I get to fight a boss. This won't go horribly. Woohoo. Well, wait a minute. If it does something in the room...
From what I can tell, you try and play it and he takes it off you.
Alright, let's go. There's our clock.
Was the cow skull always there?
What cow skull? Well, first of all, why is our plant here? I do believe that may be new.
Don't think that's been there before.
Huh. Oh, da-da-ba-ba-ba-ba! Okay. Now it has glowing red eyes. And this is just a bunch of teeth. I don't know why they're there. They just kind of seem to accumulate there. Okay, that hasn't changed.
I'm also not sure that always made that noise.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it has. Okay, why are your eyes glowing, my Mr. Man? Nothing's... There's just a whole bunch of dead me's over here. Why are your eyes glowing? Are you gonna make the plant feel better? That's still locked. Still can't do anything with that. He doesn't do anything. Four Rat is wiggling. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Huh. Okay. Does Chungus have an evil twin? No, but as Wendy says, Chungus has a little keychain for him. He's very cute. Alright. Alright, let's see what happens here. I don't have high hopes for victory here, folks. Just to warn everybody. Alright. Fine. Now we have to deal with fishing and whatnot. The mud tugged hard at your feet, forcing you to slow your pace. A rank odor caused your stomach to churn and your eyes to water. It was the rotting fish that hung from the branches around you.
Cool.
Cool. Awesome.
Okay.
A huge man approached. Go fish. Unless your line is
Go fish.
No worries, Elsie. Have a good night. Alright. Mind his hook. Play a squirrel or something when he aims it. Ah, that will protect your best cards. Ooh. An helpful tip. Or something like the ringworm word. Oh, look at, there's my big boy. Alright. I'm wondering if I can have that. What do we got here? We got a kingfisher. They're really hard to attack because they submerge themselves. But a stink will mean it loses power if I play the stink, but an opposite of that. So, but I need 2 bones first. That's okay. I gotta have to kill it. Alright, here's what I'm thinking for starting strategy.
Good one.
Good night,
Have a
Grim.
good one, Grim.
I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put out the ringworm. Because now I have enough bones to put out the stink bug, and I can put that opposite of the kingfisher, which will negate its attack power when it's close enough because of his stink. But I'm gonna have to protect it. I'm trying to decide if I want to do that now or if I want to wait a turn. And I think I'm gonna wait a turn because I want to have a squirrel in my hand that I can play if he goes into hook mode. Alright, so we'll start here. Alright, see? He's done a hook card.
Okay, so that's good. We know what he's gonna pull.
What I want to try and do now is play a squirrel and see if it moves his hook.
Have a good one for us.
No problem, Forat. Don't fall asleep on your phone. At least make sure it's plugged in and charged so you don't lose it. Yes! See? He moved the hook.
Okay.
So, he'll take out a squirrel, but if I play another card, he'll move...
So his mechanic is he is a summoning.
Okay. Kind of messed that up. What I should have done is played the stink bug with the 2 bones there, and then played the squirrel, because he would have moved the hook again. But that's okay. I've learned that that's how it works. Let's run with this. That's interesting. He moved the squirrel.
So you could, I think you can still sacrifice it.
Really want to see what happens if it transforms, though.
Okay.
And now, he doesn't have the hook up, does he?
No.
But I should have a squirrel in my hand anyway. So I'm gonna take a squirrel, and then I'm gonna play the stink bug. And then worst case scenario, if he puts a hook over the stink bug, I can play a squirrel, he'll drag another squirrel.
Okay.
It's cracking. Okay. And he's not hooked at it. So, let's try... I wanted to play the failure as well. But let me get him down alive first.
Just flip the squirrel on you.
He didn't flip the squirrel. It's become an elder squirrel.
Didn't it just attack you?
No. The other card here. I think. Do you think he took it over? Did it attack me? Chat, did the squirrel attack me? I don't... The squirrel totally attacked...
Yep.
He converted my own card.
That's why you've got to keep something low level on him.
Okay. And I don't want him to hit my stink bug. So, I'm going to draw another card and see if I can get something else in play. Because if not, I am going to play a squirrel to get him off the stink bug. Still, oh, buddy. I want to play the squirrel here, though, and see what happens. See? He's hooking the squirrel again. But look, that whole line is full. So if he pulls the squirrel back, does it take his kingfisher off the board?
Let's find out.
Let's find out. Yeah, that's exactly my question, Stitch. That's why I'm playing it here. Let's find out what happens. The squirrel got killed, so there was an opportunity to find out. See, his hook is up and poised, but he hasn't snagged any.
Am I right in thinking you're going to beat him next turn?
Let me see. Sorry, the interface is a little difficult. I've got to do
2 more.
3 damage in order to defeat him. And the stink bug is going to do 2. So if I can put out another point's worth of damage, I will defeat him this time. But remember, he has 2 lives. Beck, no, that's a great question. As a reminder, we can play as many cards as we want, but each card to play has a cost. You see these little blood drops next to the stoat and how the moose buck has 3? That's how many creatures you have to sacrifice to put out these characters. The stink bug, see how it has 2 little bones here in the corner? That means I have to have 2 bones, i.e. 2 previously dead characters cards in order to play them. So theoretically, if I have a whole huge stack of bones and a huge stack of bone animals, I can play them all. But I only get 1 draw per turn, and I can either draw one of my deck or a squirrel. Squirrels are the fuel of this particular game. I've also got this card, which is a boulder, which I'm thinking about maybe putting out in the bullfrog would ignore it, but I like the idea of being able to block up this spot from the squirrel while I kind of accumulate some time. But if I can do one additional, let's see, how much damage is he gonna do to me? 1, 2, 3, and I'm gonna do 2. So I'm losing my advantage every time. If I can do 2 points, if I can do 3 points of damage this turn, I'll have beat him this turn. So here's what I'm gonna, but I want to try something. Come here. First, I have to draw a card. I'm gonna take a squirrel because I want the protective value of it.
It's not your card. You can't sacrifice him.
Yeah, it won't let. He's not my card anymore. He's not currently hooking, so I'm gonna go on faith here a little bit. I'm gonna try something. I hope this works. Oh, no. See, he's hooked.
So sacrifice him now and put something else in, but if you do that...
He'll take the stoat. No way. Let's see if he'll take the boulder.
Yes.
Ah! Okay.
That's a smart move because you've locked up his primary point of attack.
Right. But I can't play the stoat because he'll hook it.
So, what do you think, an end turn?
Yeah, I think so. Because he'll move. And next time, I gotta draw from my deck.
You just got the other squirrel back, didn't you?
No, it improved. Remember, it's got that that natal mode. Folks, it's gonna run an ad here for a second. So, quick, I got 2 minutes. We're gonna draw a card. Excellence. Excellence. That's very useful to have. So I'm gonna pause just for a second here, and we're gonna run the ad break, and then we're gonna come back and try and finish this round. Okay? So if you are not taking the ad break with us, by all means, we're gonna go to the ad break screen, take a stretch, get some water. I mean, we've been streaming over an hour, so if you haven't had a chance to wiggle around our stuff yet, let's do that. So we'll be right back, 2-3 minutes, okay? Hey everybody, we've
Hey
got
folks, welcome back.
just about 45 seconds left for the ad break. I thought I would walk you through what I'm planning to do next. So, it's our turn, and currently we've got 3 damage worth up on the screen, and we are down by 2 health. So I think we're gonna defeat him. Hey Mur, how's it going? Yes, we are trying to make our way through this fascinating and vexing game.
Making our way downtown, walking fast. He's playing Inscription. Go fuck yourself.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay. Right, we'll be back from the ad break in just a second. But I think with the amount of damage that we have out on the board, we're going to defeat him because we're down by 2 and we've got 3 out on the board, which means I'm not going to put anything else out right now. I'm going to hold on to everything for when the thing resets because it gets too live. So with my stink bug out and my squirrel now elder, I'm just gonna hit the bell. That should do 3. See, that should defeat him. And then it resets, and his cards are gone, and he says, "Go fish." I have a horrible feeling he's about to clear my cards. Unfortunately, he took my boulder. Well, it was his boulder. He stole the boulder, but I don't care because it worked. Boulders worked really
Good night,
well.
Andrich.
All right. What?
That is a
Bait bucket. Okay, so these are 1-point boulders.
So he's coming straight down the middle at you.
Okay. Interesting. But now it's my turn. And what I think I'm going to do is the thing that works oh so well with playing myself here. Which is if I grab a squirrel and play myself, and I do it here, I will destroy 1 bait bucket and do 4 damage to him, plus the 3 damage from these other stink bugs, which should kill him outright. So I need a squirrel. And the squirrel will go here. And then my poor dilapidated corpse will go here. And then that should be my turn.
Little confused as to why we didn't attack that.
What? Oh, fish. Why is that now a great white shark? Okay.
I mean,
So,
I'm pretty certain you beat him next turn anyway.
Hold on. So bait buckets
It's
is a 1 life bait. It is bait. As soon as you attack it, it turns into a great white shark.
Yeah.
That then got to attack. Well, it was his turn, to be fair. Right. But I'm about to do 8, 9, 10 damage to him, and I'm only down by 1. But what I'm also going to do is 1, put a squirrel in my hand in case he hooks something, and 2, I'm gonna use this. You chum the water. Ah! Well described, Stitch. Well designed. I'm sorry, you what? Yeah, exactly. Alright, and now I'm gonna use whatever the heck this is.
Face in the bottle.
I'm serious. You cannot use that. There is no possible use for it. I'll place it on that shelf over there.
Oh, that's cool, because when we beat your ass in a turn, we'll go over and see what's going on.
My advice, avoid it. No, no, you've told me to avoid it, so I'm gonna make a beeline for it. Okay. So, I'm not gonna put out any other cards right now because I'm about to pwn him. Right? Yes,
so.
I'm down by 1 hit point.
Suck it.
Look at that.
In
Look at
your
how many
face,
extras there
dickhead.
are. Neener. Need a light? He resets my life because I defeat the boss. Ah, I just unlocked an achievement entitled Grizzled Angler. Your reward. Can I go now? Can I be free? Can that be my reward? Mantis
God.
Oh, he's awesome. A pack,
Pack rat.
rat. The prudent pack rat. Never doubt the utility of a well-stocked pack. What does that symbol do? And a geck. Oh, I'm 90% certain I'm going for that pack rat, though the mantis god makes me very happy. Oh, wait, I can read it. Trinket bearer. When a card bearing this sigil is played, you will receive a random item as long as your pack is not full. Ooh. Ooh.
It's tempting.
Yeah, I think I might go for the pack rat. Oh, that's really useful. Yep, I've got the pack rat. You considered one of the angler's catches as a meal, but the rank odor deterred you. Duh. Dinner would have to wait. Let me think. Ugh.
A frigid gust of wind billowed unwelcome into you. I think now's it. The beauty of the falling snow failed to distract you from the chill.
Yes, it's cold.
You had ascended to snow line.
Ascended to the snow line.
Okay, I'm going to go talk to the good.
Yes,
gooey boy.
Wendy's like, go look at the bottom, go look at the bottom, go look at. Okay. First, I'm gonna take a look at the map here. So, cave with eyeballs in it.
Pulling up the thing.
Thought I heard something. Look at how many extra teeth we have. It's very disturbing. We have a very eclectic collection of cards. Alright. Let's go find the goo. Let's go find the goo. Let's go find the goo. Where to put it? Ooh, it's over there. Still think there's something in there. Alright, goo. I'm gonna poke it.
The pain is unbearable. Even after all these years.
I don't think it's happy either.
What do you want?
Yes, the goo unfortunately always had a face, KDB.
I have very little to live for these days.
No, put my plant back. Not
Poke
sure.
him again.
You want me to poke it
Yeah.
again? Oh, you people are cruel.
May that dagger find its mark. Must be brave.
Interesting. Is he giving me hints?
Watching the ankle lose. Now that soothed my pain. An old rival of mine, that fisherman. Bested me this time, but I will have another chance. Arg. Oh, the agony.
Okay. I think he has hints to give you casually over time. Alright, so you're a monster. Well, I'm reduced to monstrous things. There's not much to do in this
In our defense,
prison.
it's inscription.
Right? Why can't I just...
What's that?
Yes, I've had that for a while. I'll let you use that, but not now. Where did I stand? Well, I don't have any more clues about how to do with things in the place and the stuff. I would like to poke those creepy eyes. That would be nice. Can I do that? Doesn't let me. See? It will not let me poke the eyes. The eyes are creepy. It's okay, Wendy. Alright. Can we play for a little bit more, do you think? Or should we stop here? Let's encounter the puzzle again and see how we do. Alright, so let's take a look here. There's a campfire. All we did last time was get powerful ringworm. Which was weird.
No, we didn't get powerful
I don't
ringworm.
think you can poke the creepy eyes. Sorry, Jim. I don't think you can either. So that's the altar. This is a pack. And we kind of depleted our pack. So that might be a good path to take next. Alright, here we go again with the trials. Creepy. The trial of kin. 2 of the 3 drawn cards must be kin to pass. We're never gonna get that.
The blood, the 3 drawn cards must cost at least 4 blood.
We have very good odds of that. Trial of wisdom again. Alright, so. Trial of wisdom for 3, right? So 1, 2. We have to have 3 symbols. And most of our cards only have 1 symbol. So we'd have to not draw those 2. But what was the other one? 4 blood? I mean, look at almost everything we have has blood. So I'm going to do the trial of blood. Yep, we won! 3 from the moose, 1 from the bullfrog, 2 from the amalgam. So we over won. We got 6 out of the required 4. We have passed the trial. Alright. A rattler.
An eternal rattler.
No. Many lives. When a card bearing the sigil is sacrificed, it does not perish. Oi. An eternal skink. And what is this? A dam building alpha wolf? What? A dam is created on each empty adjacent space. A dam
Look at how cheap that is to get in play, relatively speaking. That is 4 bones. So conceivably, 3 turns in, you drop that. And you're setting up a kill box, basically.
And creatures adjacent to a card bearing the sigil gain 1 power.
That being
That's
said,
a heck of a card.
they're all really good. My slight instinct is either the alpha or the rattler. Because the idea of sacrificing a 3 damage creature to get something else in play, and then the next turn the 3 damage creature is still there, is pretty attractive.
And I only have 1 card that uses bones right now. So I'm going for that alpha card. That looks amazing. Okay, so now we face a choice. Campfire. I don't want to do the altar thingy. I think I want to do the pack because we have very little gear left anymore. So let's go to the pack.
Take it to the pack.
A frozen possum.
Nice.
That pitiful possum. What does frozen mean? A frozen possum is created in your hand. A frozen possum is defined as 0 power, 5 health, frozen away. So, does it have to be... Yeah, everybody's like, Dustin? And there's a black goat, which, if I remember correctly, if you sacrifice it, it gives you 3 bloods worth of creature, which means I can put out the goat, get it killed, and bring out a big boy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like that Face annihilating moose bug.
Face annihilating moose bug. That's its name. I'm gonna take the goat. And I can either have another goat or we're taking the possum. We'll take the possum and the goat. That sounds
The possum sickle.
The possum sickle.
So we're gonna fight.
Yeah. And now they fight. Okay. Alright.
That's a lot of cards already on the...
There's 2 snowy furs, so that blocks flying creatures, which is useful because it's got a raven coming at me and an elk fawn.
You can put something decent down. The elk fawn's gonna get 1 smack.
Yeah, sacrificed cards are gone. Like nuked gone. Except squirrels, you have infinite squirrels. You mean like sacrifice, like the goat? Yeah, they don't come back in your hand. Oh, well, here's my big boy. I could play him here and just be done with the turn. Which honestly kind
tempting.
of works for me. Honestly, I like the idea of just nuking him and moving on. Hey Murray, you want to see my awesome corpse? This is me. This is the dead me. Do I have to draw first? No. Okay. So watch this. So there's my squirrel.
Well.
My corpse has 1 blood, which I will sacrifice. And see this symbol? See how I do 4 damage? I do 4 damage here and here. So as long as these cards are empty, it will do 8 damage to him. Watch. Done. 1. Moving on. It's a very nice combination. I'm very happy with it. Yes, I also have a ringworm, which is weird, but is apparently supposed to help you at campfires? We haven't figured out how yet. We tried playing it at the last campfire, and it just made it powerful. It now does
we
damage.
have a powerful ringworm.
As opposed to before, I
Which
guess.
is very much this game's bag of wet boiled peanuts.
Yes, exactly. Right. Okay, so where are we now? We've got a pick a card option, or we've got a pass a trial option. And honestly, we did really well passing the trials last time. So let's try another trial. Alright. Another creature. Alright. Trial of blood again. Good. Trial of kin. If that's the case, you should be trying to give the ringworm to everyone you meet. That's a good idea. And Trial of Wisdom. So again, I think we're going to go with Trial of Blood. Worst case scenario, if we got the stink bug and the alpha, we wouldn't pass. But with almost every other combo, we pass the Trial of Blood. So we're going to stick with that. Cat. Oh, good. See, we made it. See, even though we got the stink bug, because we got the buck, we made it. We passed. You should be trying to give the ringworm to everyone you meet if it's the peanuts. Now, I have a feeling the card won't be as burly this time. Oh my god, is that a swimming grizzly? Look at that card!
It's Cocaine Bear.
I knew you were gonna say. I knew you were gonna say that.
Those of you who haven't and who have a fondness for horror movies, please YouTube the trailer for Cocaine Bear. You're welcome.
Okay, so
There's a skunk.
The Guardian, which is stupid because it doesn't have any attack power, but it kind of ties up a card.
But wait, it also has the stink ability, so is it a thing where it kind of drags the card to something? Yeah. You use it to nerf something.
It becomes a block.
Yeah.
But,
Cute little otter.
But look at the grizzly bear. I mean, to be fair, I already have
At least 2 chonkers there.
2 chonkers there that I'm having a hard time getting into play. Let's see. The river otter is a dual attack, bifurcated strike.
But 1.
But it also hides. It's waterborne.
cute little otter. His cute little hands.
Which means I can't use it to block.
You can go.
The super uber grizzly is very tempting. 4 and 6. Opposed to 3 and 7. I mean, but with a 3 blood cost, it's really hard to get them in play. But it's also waterborne, so it'll hide.
They're all really good. They're all really finely balanced. My instinct of the 3 is the skunk or the grizzly are probably the 2 I would go for. The skunk because it's surprisingly tough and it's gonna just damage shit.
But it doesn't. That's the problem. It does no damage.
Think of the skunk like chaff then. It's a thing you put out to stop you taking damage. The grizzly, think of it as a nuke.
Yeah. What do we think, chat? I'm very torn between the grizzly or the skunk. My instinct is to go for the grizzly, but my concern with that is that I already have a really powerful big card. What's wrong with having a second really powerful big card, right? An opposing creature is placed opposite an opposing creature. So his stuff is placed opposite to an empty space. A card with this symbol will move to that empty space. That pulls opponents to it and then steals their power, right? It is a good point. I like this. I think you're right. I think the strategy of the skunk might be quite useful. Especially if I take it to an altar and then a grizzly nuke coming to you. Alright, let's go with the skunk. Alright. So now we're going to a mushroom, and I don't have 2 of the same things. Let's go mycology. And then we should probably go. You found yourself among a grove of thick and pungent mushrooms. You squinted to see a figure through a thick cloud of spores. You are the mycologist. Yes.
Those are 2 faces.
We? Ooh, that's the mycelium talking. Oh dear. Oh boy. You're performing our experiments far from...
We are not welcome elsewhere.
Well, that makes sense. We will experiment on your flock, yes? We will need 2 of the same creatures.
1 for each of us.
No, 1 for each of you. I don't... Oh dear, you don't...
Dear. You have no duplicate cards.
That is correct. Take 1 of ours.
We'll use it next time.
Okay. Another alpha. And another skunk. Let's see. Can't look at my deck.
Thanks, Scary Saphod.
Okay. I'm gonna take the skunk. Oh, and this is why when you get to choose cards, there's a mushroom to mark the ones you already have.
Stitch, that's so clever.
I'm gonna take the skunk because the skunk is a high strategy card right now with no attack damage. And if one of the advantages of a mycologist is fusing 2 of the same card to make it more powerful, then I think the skunk has the greater advantage. Because if it gives skunk an attack power, that would be great. And with the alpha, it's already pretty freaking godly burly. So let's take the skunk. Alright. Interesting. And now we fight. And this is probably a good place to wrap up before we take a break. Okay. And interestingly... Hello, everybody. Anybody feeling chatty? Oh, who is the person that you trade teeth for things again? Do we know? Wasn't there a character...
There's a fur trader. I don't remember there being a teeth trader.
What is it that you use spare teeth for? There was something. And I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, because we have a lot of them.
Because we have a lot of teeth. to trade.
Trying really hard.
It
not
is
to
the
think about
trapper for furs.
Trying real hard not to think about the fact that his teeth regrow
You
every
bought
time.
the trapper, so that would probably be the trap over here. Took the wrong path then. Alright, we'll have to keep our eyes peeled for an opportunity going forward then. I don't suppose we can backtrack.
Homie, don't play that.
No, it doesn't look like he lets us backtrack. Alright, we'll keep that in mind for next time. Alright, let's wrap it up here. It's almost time for the final ad break of the stream anyway. Okay, everybody, we're going to take 2 or 3 minutes and get the shenanigans ready. So if you need a stretch, go and do that. Maybe have a little snack. Didn't have to hide behind anybody. Brr, look at our cute little Halloween decorations. Aren't they cute? But we're going to take a little break. And we'll be right back. So we're going to go over to the ad screen. Get a stretch. Maybe rewarm your tea. Do we have any Pop-Tarts?
Don't think so. We have muffins.
Pooh. Yes, it is fluffy snow. It's very cute. And look at the one Alistair got. He got a little puffy.
Log.
puffy I've done 1,400 words, so I think that's me for the night.
Good
Well
job,
done.
Luke.
Well done, Luke. All right, we'll be right back, everybody.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Hold on, where's my buttons? Okay, we'll be right back.
Hello.
Yes, we're just talking about games that I want to get back to. I'm going to defeat this game. Everybody can hear me, yes? Good. Okay, fine. And then I want to go back and defeat Outer Wilds. Because
Yes.
Outer Worlds is the one with the spaceship.
That you also should probably go back and
I defeated the original game.
You did not.
No, I did not, because I was on the last mission and I didn't want it to end. And then all the DLC.
And now all the
came out.
DLCs arrived, and the second one has been announced. Did you not see the trailer for Outer Worlds 2? I'll pull it up for you. Oh yeah. Also, now might be a good time to point out that Outer Wilds has basically the same size as the original game DLC.
I know, but that one isn't a matter of I haven't wanted to finish it, is I haven't been able to finish it yet. There's an important distinction. Besides, there's Christmas. Over Christmas, hopefully there will be lots and lots of video game play. That would be lovely. Hi, Decario. Hey, Tony. How you doing? Thanks so much for joining us.
Hey there.
We are just about to wrap up the stream with probably the most amusing portion that happens every evening.
Yeah, this is very good timing.
Welcome to Shenanigans. For those of you who may be new or lurking, Shenanigans is brain sorbet. It is us making sure that the last thing you see from this stream is not the nightmare fuel of whatever horror content we may have been delivering tonight. So, there will be ridiculous things. They are very heavily fandom driven. And tonight we have a hilarious Tumblr post. And if you were with us last time, you know how well these go. Because then we read all the hashtags and it gets very fascinating. So we're gonna read this. You want to scooch up?
Yep.
Come on.
Okay.
Scooch up. Scooch. Can you see? Okay.
I'm good.
All right. Fine. You can start us off.
Okay. I've had a really full and busy day today, but the highlight was...
So I'm sitting in the staff work area, and one of my colleagues comes up to me. There's an open day this weekend, and so we need to plan an activity for the would-be students.
Simple, I say. Let's get them to dissect some owl pellets. Hands-on fun, they get to play with skulls.
Good idea, she says, but we'll need something even fancier for the open day in February. What can we do? Perhaps we can take some soil samples.
And as we're debating the photogenic merits of soil versus dead mice...
Suddenly, a dashing and handsome stranger, Reed, an autistic engineer lecturer, appears with a flourish. Reed launches himself into a seat beside us while visibly and physically vibrating with excitement about his special interest being useful, and asks, "Hello, I'm sorry, did you say soil? Because I have a Raman microscope."
Amazing! Declares my colleague. Who are you?
"Come and see it!" he says, currently the human embodiment of the smiley face emoji.
We went and saw it. It's an excellent microscope, and his 10-minute info dump about it was both spectacular and also extremely useful. We're going to use it to assess microplastics.
I have a new friend.
Guess who I saw again today? I say saw. He hunted me down to invite me to train on using his microscopes. It turned out some of the engineers asked if they could look at explosive substances with it, and he was like, "No, you may not. It is powered by a laser." So now he's insisting that everyone train on it, but wanted to ask me if I'd like to do it. Obviously, I've said yes. He's getting an SEN as well, so he's put my name down for that too.
And then we compared notes on working in labs, and he told me about the time he was sent to the chemical cupboard in his last lab and found a Tesco bag of asbestos, 3.5 kilos of TNT, and half a pint of cyanide.
Fuck me.
And when he told the health and safety woman, she just said he should use a lone working protocol, and he was so angry he yelled, "A lone working protocol will not save the children from a dirty bomb, Carolyn!"
I love this man.
Why did the chemical cupboard have 3.5 kilos of trinitrotoluene? A word I know and didn't have to stumble over pronunciation of. The full name for TNT, for those unaware. And was it at the very least an explosives cupboard?
It was not in an explosives cupboard, and he didn't know. Basically, this was in an HE building being converted over to a Young Offenders Institute, and for whatever reason, all the science teachers quit en masse as the switch was happening, leaving all their students in the lurch.
Okay, stop! That very premise right there should be, maybe a
Bunsen burners down, lads, it's a walkout.
I mean, it has to be some sort of made-for-television series. Anyway,
Yes.
sorry.
So, one morning, he came into work, was told he was being promoted to technical demonstrator, given a bunch of mysterious keys, and told he had 3 hours to familiarize himself with the contents of the chemical cupboard.
Great, he says. Where's the chemical cupboard?
Shrug emoji, his boss said gravely and wandered off to have crisps.
So he spent an hour wandering the building trying his keys in every lock before finally finding a door that opened. And upon finally opening it, was immediately greeted by a Tesco carrier bag on the floor labeled asbestos. Do not touch.
Righto, he thought. No touching that.
But then he had 2 hours left to familiarize himself with the packed shelf contents of quite a large room. And the problem is that when you would tell an autistic lab tech to familiarize themselves with a room full of chemicals, what they hear is not, have a quick look so you have an idea what's there. It's, these chemicals must be cataloged in detail, and also here have a time pressure. So he was going to be both thorough and grumpy about this. And this room was packed.
The oldest bottle he found was a reagent, opened in 1959.
It had crystallized.
It was quite beautiful, actually, he told me dreamily. A work of art. I wish I'd kept it.
The cyanide, when he finally found it, was in a stoppered glass vial. So that was the point he lost his shit and went and grabbed Carolyn.
Kicker is, Carolyn didn't care. She insisted they didn't have the money or resources to spare on getting rid of it, so he had to march all the way to the dean's office.
You look like you're having a bad day, she asked warily.
Well, I thought it would peak with the Tesco carrier bag of asbestos I found, he said, but I was very wrong.
And that's how you give your boss a heart attack.
Oh, this unlocked a lab tech memory about the time someone was clearing out a chemical cupboard and we had the bomb squad out. But it's over 10 years old now, and much like the chemicals, has been corrupted in storage. Tesco bags were also involved. Can anyone remember the name of a chemical that is normally kept under a layer of water because when it dries out and crystallizes, it is explosive when bumped or tapped? Like the initiation of the reaction is bumping the bottle full of crystals?
Yeah. Oh god, I wish we had Kat in the chat for this.
Right.
She'd be dying.
Send her this.
There are tons of organic peroxides which are concerningly sensitive, but the one you're thinking of is probably picric acid.
Friend of a friend once told me about how one time in the lab he worked in, someone found a decades-old bottle of picric acid in the back of a supply cupboard with visible crystals. If I remember correctly, they had to call a significant evacuation radius. Then the bomb squad sent in one extremely brave person to fetch the bottle and ever so gently carry it out into the woods where it could be safely detonated, because there's really nothing else you can do about something that unstable.
Picric acid, that's the bunny.
The first most of us heard of it was when a group of posh British gentlemen in alarming, unidentifiable black riot gear approached a gaggle of us outside the lab entrance, not quite believing the address one of them had been given. The following conversation is highly exaggerated to give an idea of the context, bonkers, how it was received, incredulously, and what information we were given. None.
Dashing Captain. Hello, sorry, not to be a bother. But I'm trying to get to Professor X's laboratory, University of Bristol, for some chemical disposal, but I can't help but notice that we are, in fact, somehow in a hospital.
Us, a cluster of techs and students, mostly Italian. Yeah, that's right.
DC. In fact, this chemistry lab is somehow sharing an address with the Bristol Royal Infirmary, which is a large hospital, unavoidably placed somewhat in the middle of the city, next to the largest children's hospital in the region.
Oh my god.
Both of them quite famously chock full of patients.
Us, yes. Well, technically it's a biomedical laboratory. We have the 7th floor.
Thanks, that's lovely. 7th floor of a busy urban hospital, thanks. Any chance of it being separated or set apart in any way from the patient wards, or...?
Us, in a fatally friendly way. No! Unfortunately, we're really right on top of each other. We even share fire alarms.
All of us overlapping, like when we used to have toasters in our kitchens. Whenever the nurses in the floors below toasted something too much, or vice versa, both floors had to evacuate. Since we share ventilation in the same alarm circuit or something, we set each other off, basically. The nurses have little jackets with pockets to carry the babies in. They fill the pockets with the babies!
The rest of us, overlapping. Anyway, they took all of our toasters away a few months ago, so that doesn't happen so much anymore.
The dashing captain was not pleased with this.
Anyway, when we went back in, the labs were full of handsome SWAT men in black gear, all looking really alarmed in a way that didn't suit them, and not really noticing us much. Lab workers kept emerging from our usual activities, coming out of dark rooms or tissue culture rooms, sort of yelping at each other, while the men in black bomb squad said things like, "More of you? What's even in there?" And we'd say, upset, "Viruses," or "the autoclave," and the men would sort of repeat it incredulously.
As if we
designed the hospital to offend them, while the tech scuttled off in confusion.
I want to say it was Pirate Simon? Who the fuck is Pirate Simon?
Oh my god.
I want to say it was Pirate Simon who had either discovered it or identified the danger. Parenthetical. Pirate Simon was a lab tech who famously had 3 nipples and played in a band called Scaramanga on the strength of that.
Oh, I'm dead.
The information filtered through that it was a big fucking jar of dried picric acid crystals being kept in a sort of non-explosion proof tin box with a lot of other horribly degraded chemicals with vintage labels shoved in a corner of a defunct lab and tucked in nicely / disguised in a pile of useful bags for life and bits of unidentified styrofoam packing material next to a hot water pipe sort of thing.
That's a bomb.
Yeah, that right there?
That's a bomb.
What you got there is a bomb.
The handsome SWAT men had decided that given the insanity of the situation on the 7th floor of the actual goddamn Bristol Royal Infirmary, with nurses having to fill their pockets with NICU babies and choose which elderly people to strap to the evacuation boards, they were first going to rehydrate and therefore stabilize the picric acid before moving it. There was a concern whether unscrewing the lid of the massive glass bottle would disrupt dried crystals caught in the screw tracks of the lid. And that was an occupying debate. And then they discovered the rest of the stash. I'm going to do that again because I want people to hear the capitals. And then they discovered the rest of the stash. This was only one of many things we'd done terribly wrong or stored improperly, apparently. The dashing men were not very impressed with the academic community that day, we sensed. In fact, it was all rather tense. They didn't seem to acknowledge us much and were unclear on what we should do. Nobody was telling us what was going on. There was a foreboding sense of impending trouble. They were making evacuation-related noises, which we recognized from the toasters, but nothing was moving on, and evacuations were actually quite annoying for us. We all assessed the situation carefully and sensibly.
From the prospect of the pub across the street, we beheld many, many men in black bomb squad gear filtering about the bustling public and patients and scenes of the hospital. There was definitely a lot of disruption, but nary anything resembling a mass evacuation ever appeared. Lots of interesting vehicles showed up and then drove away. After a while, the pub seemed more important anyway, and then it was 5 p.m. anyway, so...
Long story short, it was a surprisingly low-key bomb scare for what it was, which was a stupid amount of explosive that could explode if bumped, kept carelessly on the 7th floor of a packed hospital. I swear that we talked about it on Twitter. I know it definitely happened, but there's no news stories or anything. There wasn't even a real scold or a statement or anything else that happened as a result, even though about 30 men in black milled around with ghastly expressions on their faces for about half a day.
They were probably too embarrassed to fill out the paperwork. It wasn't until much, much later that I learned a bit more about how bad it could have been, and I'm not quite sure whether it was good or bad that it was handled this way. I do very much appreciate that the disposal method of choice for the equivalent of a dirty bomb in a kiddie hospital was mostly treated like the nurses set a toaster on fire again. And given that the hospital had horrible things occurring regularly, like medical waste fluids leaking from the ceilings onto our workbenches, we were told it should be fine because it had been autoclaved first. It was rather nice to have the attention.
Sorry, this ended up being a very British NHS sort of chemical bomb scare. I will...
That's a Christmas movie waiting to happen.
What's in this? Viruses?
And toasters? The autoclave?
Also, sorry for the derail, OP. This was an unexpected memory unlock. God, I don't know why labs are like this.
We have a friend, Andrew, who was a former chemistry teacher. Doesn't he have a story about, like, finding a jar of just sodium sitting around somewhere?
It's fucking everywhere, man. It's fucking everywhere. Chemistry teachers crazed.
And none of them do any storage properly. They all inherit these horrific situations.
I must have told you folks about the very chirpy time that my chemistry teacher, who was also a trombone player and a sheep farmer, and herded his sheep via microlight aircraft, pulled up.
We don't have time to unpack all that.
Pulled up late to his house one morning in a bit of a hurry, so kind of pulls up really fast.
Go quick! We're 4 minutes over Winnie's bedtime.
And he's he's going to go in to pick up his wife, and he goes in. They head out to the car. His wife opens the back and goes, "Henry, yeah. Did you secure the replacement car battery?" There is a long silence, followed by, "Yeah." There's another long silence.
Oh.
Are you very sure?
Oh no.
Why? Because there's an acid pool in the bottom of the car. And he'd stopped suddenly. The battery had tipped over, and the, I believe, pint or so of acid that's in most car batteries had cheerily spilled out across the floor as he was turning the key off and pulling it out. And basically, he had that moment from the horror movie where the thing is about to kill you, and the only reason it doesn't is you don't see it.
It's sometimes a miracle that we evolved. Honestly,
chemistry teachers, man, they're like scaffolders. They're uniquely equipped for the fall of civilization.
Exactly. I think that's everything for tonight.
I mean, we can't top that, can we? Really?
I mean, we could natter on for hours, but I gotta work tomorrow, and you gotta work tomorrow, and all that good stuff.
Yeah, there is that. Thank you so much for joining us. It has, as ever, been an absolute delight.
Let's tell you where you can find us coming up this week.
This coming Friday, the next episode of our frequently issue.
It's a publication, therefore it's an issues. If it's an audio, it's an episode. If it's a publication, it's an issue. Come on, man! I do too many things. I gotta keep my boundaries straight here.
The next issue of our frequently award-nominated pop culture newsletter, The Full Lid, will go live, which includes some fantastic beatboxing from Australia, a hip-hop classic, a really good TV show, and a very good comic. There's a lot of good stuff in there this week. Then, on Sunday, we will be returning to the wonderful world of El Dulio. The professional wrestling case will continue.
If you haven't been joining us on Sunday, we do casual gaming streams on Sunday mornings. We're playing the amazing Dark Side Detectives. We're on the second game now, and we've reached the portion where our Irish cop buddy has apparently been moonlighting as a luchador. Yes. And I can't wait for. We've already had so many WWE mainstay puns that I was unable to breathe at portions of the game. It's a lovely, wonderful, good time. And then we will be back here next week. Hopefully, maybe, or put it this way, as soon as, I'm so sorry, it's after midnight, I'm allowed to yawn now. As soon as Scarlet Hollow Chapter 4 is available to stream, we will be streaming it. Probably for 8 to 10 weeks, given the time estimate that's been provided. We also have some Halloween. Wrong holiday.
We have some Christmas.
The one with the berries and the trees. Christmas.
We have some Christmas menaces that we will be doing for you. They are good menaces.
Precisely. And I think that's everything for this week.
I think it is.
We will talk a little bit more about it as we get closer to the time, but we're going to go dark for a couple of weeks for the end of the year for the holidays. I don't have it to hand. I think our last stream is going to... Math, calendar, looky. Okay. Our last stream on Wednesday, I think, is gonna be the 21st. And then our last Sunday stream will be the 18th, because the following 25th is Christmas Day itself. So. But we will send... You'll get reminders about it in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, we'll go dark for the holidays for a couple of weeks. And then we'll be back with even more Scarlet Hollow. And honestly, if they delay until the new year, that's fine too. When they're ready, we'll be ready. In the meantime, we'll keep... I defeated the fisherman, man. I'm feeling emboldened.
Very good spot, Decaro.
Which is? Is that the Konami code behind?
Yes, it is.
Well done! Well spotted! Yes, that is in fact the
Up,
Konami
up, down,
code.
down, left, right.
That's all the arrows I had. But yes, those are my arrow magnets in the Konami code, because I am that old. Very much. A delay just means time to speculate on what's coming in Chapter 4. We should do that.
Yes.
Once we know when the release date is, we should have a more extensive recap and speculation
Previously
section.
on Scarlet Hollow.
Dun, dun. Yes, that sounds like a All right, everybody.
Thank you so much for joining us, folks. I've been Alistair.
And I've been Marguerite.
And this has been fun. We'll see you next time.
Have a great evening. We'll see you later.